The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
Let's talk about another guy who turned back the hands of time. The co-main event, we had José Aldo defeating Jonathan Martinez by unanimous decision in the bantamweight division. And early on, Martinez was working those leg kicks, and both guys landed a few shots, but it was kind of like a cat and mouse game. Nobody really wanted to throw that first round, and nobody really put their foot on the gas. And then round two, Martinez clinched early, but no action when he was clinching, and the rest broke it up. And that's when the pace picked up some, and both guys landed nice shots. But I think I gave that round to Aldo slightly. You know, it was a good back and forth round. And then round three, I was surprised by this. Aldo just looked quicker to the punch. He looked like he was the faster fighter, and he was landing clean shots, throwing straight down the middle. Then he hurt him with that left hook towards the end of the round and had him hurt. I thought Aldo could put his foot on the gas a little more. He could have finished it, but he went for the takedown for some reason and then just cruised to the win. Maybe he's just trying to play it safe, but for the most part, Aldo looked good. What were your thoughts on this one, Admire?
Yeah, man. I was kind of one of the people that had Aldo counted out. You know, he's getting up there in age.
Yeah, me and you picked the other guy, and Steve picked Aldo, so we both.
Yeah, and I mean, Aldo looked fast, and he looked good. He was throwing heavy hands. He was back to throwing the leg kicks. It seems like he kind of slacked off on throwing leg kicks the last few times we've seen him. Like, he mixed it up real well. Aldo looked really good in this fight. Martinez didn't look bad by any means, but I was blown away to see Aldo come back like this. So, and I already have a fight in my head picked out for his next one.
Hold that thought. What do you think about this fight, Steve?
It was a good fight. Aldo was getting his feet wet, so to speak. And Martinez, he's no slacker. You know, he's a pretty good fighter himself. I think he had a good streak going on. And Aldo looks sharper. You almost get mesmerized because nobody does boxing like Aldo and MMA. I think, you know, feints, pivoting over, pivoting after the punch, and digging to the body with his what does he do? That digging shovel hook he does.
Yeah,
devastating. And I enjoy watching Aldo fight, especially when he's on the winning end, when he starts getting warmed up. Like Admire said, he didn't throw his kicks, but although the kicks that he did throw, oh my goodness, you can tell he can whip one out and check somebody with one instead of throwing multiple to get somebody's respect. You can tell that Martinez felt it as soon as he threw like one. I think he probably only threw like three. And I think what they said in the commentators, they said the reason why is I think Martinez was a southpaw. And I think every time Martinez switched up, that's when he fired that kick off. So he can only get it off in that orthodox stance. And maybe he would have thrown more kicks. But definitely looking forward for Aldo, and definitely has a ranking spot.
He's ranked number 8 now. He went from not ranked to ranked number 8, but he beat a guy who was ranked number 12. So, what made you have so much confidence in Aldo coming into this fight, Steve? Was it just nostalgia, or did you have some intel on that? Because I don't know if a lot of people saw this coming for him to look that fast and whatnot.
It was a nostalgia and how he left off his last fight. He was actually going at it with Merab. It was just he was tougher. I think people count him out, but we forget who Merab is right now because he's a rising star. We just haven't seen enough of his template of his fights to correlate things together. But I always thought before he left, Aldo was sharp, and although Martinez is a good fighter, I think his veteranship and his skills that are still up to par with these young guys with this boxing, I thought he was gonna knew he was gonna take him out.
So even though Aldo did look good, he still got a lot of mileage on him.
Mm-hmm.
Admire, you say you think you know what's next for him. What you have in mind?
I want to see him fight Henry Cejudo.
Huh? Why?
I think their styles, I think it would make for a great fight because even though we don't see Aldo on his back a lot, I think Cejudo could take him down, but Aldo could make it ugly. And Cejudo's a great stand-up fighter too. Mix that in with Aldo striking, I think that could highlight a fight night as well. Aldo and Cejudo. I don't think they've ever fought. They fought a lot of the same people. In my mind, that's a banger of a fight.
I think if they did go that route, I wouldn't have that on a fight night unless it's an ABC card main event. I think I would put that on a pay-per-view co-main event probably.
Yeah, it's definitely it could co-main it. It could headline a fight night. It could co-main. I think that's a real good fight.
Steve, what do you think could be next for Aldo?
From what I think I remember from watching the pay-per-view, I think they were talking about, I think Martinez was a replacement for Cruz. Cruz was supposed to fight Aldo. And I think for years they were gonna they've been wanting to set up that fight for years, if I'm not mistaken.
Is Cruz still a fighter at this point? I know he's still ranked. He's ranked number 12, but he's more so on the commentating. Is he even still have interest in fighting at this point?
His last fight was 2 years ago and he lost to Vera. I mean, it seems like he's always injured. Like if you look at Cruz's career, there's multiple 2-year layoffs. There's a 4-year layoff. Like he stays ranked. He stays ranked, but like he doesn't fight.
Exactly. So I don't know about that Cruz fight. Is that something that you would want to see personally, Steve?
No, and y'all answer my question when y'all are talking. He was number 12. So I thought, and I was wondering why Aldo jumped up to number 8 and who he replaced. I was assuming it was Cruz, but I guess it's not.
He knocked. I think he knocked a few people down the rankings. That's what happened when he jumped back in the rankings. There's a lot of people that were ranked at like from 8 to 9. They just went down a spot. Besides Martinez, he jumped down 2 spots, and Bautista stayed the same. So that's what happened as far as that goes.
I think Aldo's a horrible matchup for Dominic Cruz if they decided to make that. Cruz has always had knee problems, and Aldo's going to kick the shit out of his leg.
Yeah,
most likely. I mean, I know you'd be excited for that Cejudo fight. I don't like that fight right now. Maybe down the line. I say you put Aldo in there with a Figueiredo or a Song Yudong. I'd be excited for either one of those fights, especially the Figueiredo fight.
Yeah. The Song Yudong fight would be really good too, for sure.
Before Cejudo, because I think Cejudo would probably try to wrestle him. Cejudo has been kind of getting a little bit too confident in that stand-up, so he may try to stand up with him. But Cejudo was smart. He'd go back to his bread and butter and try to wrestle Aldo. But Figueiredo just fought at 300, so 301. That's only a month apart. Let them rest up and fight in the fall. I would like that fight. But I don't know if they want to fight each other. Both because they're both Brazilians. I don't know, but that'd be interesting. Some people, I mean, flyweight's still a new division. I think everybody would probably say that Mighty Mouse is the greatest flyweight in UFC history. But Figueiredo had a nice little run, and Aldo was that monster at featherweight. You'd have kind of like a meeting of generations, so to speak, if Figueiredo and Aldo fought each other. One guy coming up and one guy that went down. So
yeah,
I'd definitely be interested in seeing that. But let's see what they do with him in the future. Like, he's no spring chicken, so if he wants to make one more run, would you want to see him against your boy Sean O'Malley if Aldo could reel off like 2 wins or so?
I think that would actually be a good fight. I think they have really similar styles. They got that sniper style, a lot of accuracy, a lot of combinations and stuff. I think you wouldn't see any ground fighting in an Aldo Sean O'Malley fight. I think you'd just see a stand-up chess match. I think that would be a real good fight.
Steve?
Definitely, I can see it. Definitely be interesting. O'Malley, a sniper. As we see him now, Aldo, a combo setter. Definitely be interesting. And we forget Aldo is no sucker at the ground, man. He's got amazing takedown defense and can get up. He's just got he it looked bad against Marab, I guess. He couldn't get up. That's how good Marab is as of where he is with his skills.
Yeah, they say he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, Aldo is. I'm not sure where he got his belt from, probably somewhere in Brazil. So I don't know the credibility of his coaches. But when you think of Aldo, you don't think a lot of like a offensive jiu-jitsu. He's more so, like you said, on the defense, his takedown defense, and able to get up off the ground. So I'd be curious to see like him get a submission. I don't even know if has he even gotten a submission in the UFC. I don't think so. Thinking off the top of my head.
Let's see.
I'm glancing at it. I don't see any submission for him in the UFC. And he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. That's interesting. All of them by TKO or decision.
He has one win by submission.
And when was that?
I'm gonna have to scroll way back to find that. His third fight ever back in 2005.
Yeah, and that was in Shudo, Brazil. That's what I'm saying. He's never gotten, even in the WEC, he's never gotten a submission. He's a black belt jiu-jitsu, so that's a interesting tidbit of information. But yeah, I guess we'll see what happens with Aldo. Thank you for checking out this Haymaker Combat Sports segment. This full episode could be found on the Haymaker Combat Sports YouTube page and in audio form on all major podcast platforms. Until next time, peace.